Good weekend, citizens. It's Poddington here for another week of Helldivers 2 news, brought to you by the Ministry of Truth. Stories today cover the week starting 29th of April. For many, managed democracy is the security blanket that comforts us in the bleakest of times. Brave pioneers that develop the outer rim of our galaxy do so facing and overcoming the harshest of conditions for the benefit of Super Earth. Often with little support, their patriotism is only matched by those that choose to defend Super Earth as a Helldiver. It is no surprise then that recent requirements imposed on citizens have been met with skepticism, distrust and distaste. SEAF on the 3rd of May sent an application to High Command for it to be mandatory that all citizens, from those developing barrier planets, personnel serving aboard our galactic fleet and even Helldivers must sign up to the SEAF network called the Private Security Network, or PSN. The cost of protecting Super Earth is high, and the recent automaton invasion or constant tending to Terminid swarms has increased these costs even higher. By introducing this new network, citizens can access SEAF services to request support or to report concerns. But the biggest feature of this network is that it would become the required way for citizens not on Super Earth to access ballot services by utilizing military communication arrays. Outcry towards this proposal was high, with many valid and not so valid concerns. There are existing methods for Super Earth to vote already using public communication arrays. However, whilst it is acknowledged that message delivery response times, or MDRT, is slow, the network is robust and is part of the same network all citizens sign up to when they choose to defend our democracy. It has been argued that the same network uses similar encryption protocols as the military network, so claims of extra security are false. Recent decisions made by SEAF for Operation Legitimate Undertaking has been under fire as well, and with this proposal many wonder what they would do with interception of innocent communications when this is the task given to the more favourable democracy officer. With security concerns, it has been highlighted that the SEAF recently allowed the capture of long-range communication arrays on Vernon Wells, used to help SEAF and Helldivers to track forces and supply lines around our galaxy, and the same PS network allowed automaton sympathizers to interrupt the dispatch of daily orders and sent details of the EXO-45 manufacturing plants on Tien Quan. With how easily it has been to compromise the network, it's not too far of a stretch to consider how automatons could exploit the network to impress their socialist motives by tampering with automated voting. Even without the threat of voter tampering, it has also been noted that whilst the public network is accessible by all, the PS network is not, meaning citizens would lose their ability to vote. In response to concerns, SEAF have been trying to damage control, but High Command has acknowledged the concerns and advised it will be investigating. This has done little to temper citizens' anger who do not want to sit and wait, for whilst it is easy for those in power to debate in comfort, it is those on the galactic edge that are making the real difference and under the worst conditions. Perhaps supporting the recent concerns of SEAF, the recent major order Operation Legitimate Undertaking has been terminated with a new high-priority emergency broadcast sending all Helldivers to the barrier planets in the Terminid quarantine zone to stop a Terminid outbreak. The chilling realization that the bugs are showing resistance to Terminid control systems deployed by Helldivers weeks ago has resulted in an outbreak that top scientists believed was impossible. Terminids exist by hyper-evolving to adapt to the harsh environments found on the eastern edge of our territory. By producing generations of new bugs in only a matter of days, it has always made Terminids formidable foes, and it is this ability to increase its populace so quickly that allows them to be an inexhaustible resource of E710 when farmed appropriately. By disrupting the ability for Terminids to hyper-evolve, scientists were able to use the TC systems to stop the swarm from reducing our galaxy to biomass, and along with the purge performed by Helldivers, it keeps their numbers low enough for them to be contained and farmed. Something, it seems, went wrong. Details are still scarce whilst Helldivers meet this outbreak head-on, but the Terminid's reproduction rates have exploded almost overnight, with links to the continued exposure to TCS Termicide. The mission is simple: deactivate the TC systems before Terminid numbers get even more out of control. With flying Terminids an example of this hyper-evolution and being seen in greater numbers, it's fortunate that the acquirement of the RL-77 air-burst rocket launcher was recently made available. Capable of taking out a whole hive of flying Terminids with a single rocket, the air-burst rocket launcher is an example of the right tool needed to complete the current task at hand, provided by citizens who have the right to vote using existing methods. With both of today's stories, we will provide updates as they become available. And that is it for the news today. Thank you for tuning in, and please like and subscribe for more Helldivers 2 content, and I will see you again next week. And now for your local news.